What's up, everybody? Justin here, back with a new year in wrestling Reloaded on 1996 Part 1. There might be, because there were a lot of events in 96, a lot of ECW Super Shows, monthly, big shows, that I gotta review and go over. ECW did a lot of shows in 96. A lot of big monthly super shows at the ECW arena. So anyways, this year in wrestling on 1996 Reloaded might be 3 parts. So the first part, I'm going to talk a little bit about WWF WCW Pay-per-Views at the start of the year 96. I did review each and every WWF WCW Pay-per-View for 96 in my original Year in Wrestling series. Check out the Year in Wrestling playlist on 1996. I think I did like 6 or 7 parts on 96 because there were a lot of pay-per-views. So I'm not going to talk much about Raw or Nitro. I'm not going to review. I'll talk a little bit about Raw and Nitros, but I'm not going to review any entire episodes. I'll just talk a little bit about them. So let me start with Raw Nitro. Raw was not that good in 96. It was not horrible. It was not bad. It was not god-awful. It did not suck. But it was not that good. It was not that great. 97 was pretty damn great. 98 was great. 99, 2000, 2001, 2002 Raws were pretty great in my opinion. Not everyone, but a lot of them were. 96 was still... The pay-per-views for WWF were good. They got a lot better, in my opinion, after... Or let's say... After... during King of the Ring 96 and after, the WWF pay-per-views got a lot better. But before that, they weren't very good. The matches were just, the feuds, the matches, I wasn't feeling them. And going back to 96 as a fan, I was always a WWF guy. I was a WWF supporter more until the NWO came around. Then I jumped ship. I always watched and enjoyed WCW NWA. I always watched it as a kid. I always got to see their pay-per-views in the early 90s. Long story short, my aunt would record all the pay-per-views of WCW for me starting in 92. I would say 92 until I don't know, end of 94 or something, or until 94. So, I did get to see a lot of WCW pay-per-views in the early 90s. I really enjoyed them. Sting was one of my favorites when I was a kid growing up. Sting definitely drew me into being a WCW fan. But into 95, 96, and throughout the end of the 90s, into the early 2000s, I was a WWF guy. And I'll admit that. And I still am. My loyalty and support, I still watch WWE and NXT. I watch the most out of any other product. So, anyways, WWF Raw was not very good in 96. The best Raw that I can think of was, they had like a 4-man battle royal, or maybe a 6-man. I don't remember everybody. I think Sid was in it. Sid, Goldust, Ahmed Johnson, Shawn Michaels, maybe the British Bulldog and Owen Hart. Anyways, the Battle Royal on Raw, Ahmed Johnson won it. And I thought that was a damn good final match of that Raw, and I thought it was a very good Raw episode. But Nitro absolutely destroyed Raw in 96. WCW Nitro was a better show. It was more exciting. It was alive. Even the crowds were more hype and more loud and more into it than the Raw crowds. They weren't that loud or that into the show, it seemed like. For Nitros in 96, the crowd was always pretty damn good. Now, Nitro had a lot better of a show and more exciting matches and more shocking title changes. They had world title changes on Nitro. Raw didn't have a world title change until, I think, 98. I think. Not 97. I don't think so, but I think Raw's first world title change was 98. I'm pretty sure. Nitro had world title changes in 96. Randy Savage. In the beginning of the year, January 96, episode of Nitro. Might have been January 2nd or 3rd, I think. Randy Savage defeated Ric Flair to win the world title. That was awesome because it was on a Nitro. We had a world title change on cable TV. Then Ric Flair, of course, won the title back at Super Brawl, I believe. Then, Flair was champion, the Giant. Another world title change on Nitro. The Giant defeated Ric Flair to win his first world title. Then after the Giant won, I don't believe had another world title change until 97 when Lex Luger defeated Hollywood Hogan. Anyways, my point is, from January for the rest of the year, Nitro was better, in my opinion. They were more exciting. They were live. They were doing edgier storylines. The NWO, especially when the NWO, Hall and Nash, appeared on Nitros. Then it just felt real. It didn't feel like a storyline. It felt like Hall and Nash were invading for real from the WWF. It felt like they were really taking over WCW. WCW did a great fucking job on Nitro of just seeing anything could happen when you watched. The unexpected, shocking moments, things that fans did not see coming would happen on Nitro. It was just Bischoff or whoever was booking Nitros. They did a fucking great job in 96. Again, just a lot of shocking moments and stuff I did not see coming as a fan. But again, I was 12, 13 years old at the time, but I was just really hooked by Nitro in 96, especially when the NWO storyline started appearing on Nitro. And Sting walking away. He spoke on the mic. I want to say it was September 96. He said on Nitro, He said, I'm a free agent. He said, and I don't remember the whole promo, but he said something like, I'm a free agent, and with Sting, he goes, nothing, or I forget what he said, but or with Sting, nothing's for sure. Like, you don't know what's going to happen with Sting next. And then he started appearing on Nitros as a Crow Sting. That was epic. That was awesome. So, Nitro, bottom line, kicked Raw's ass in 96. Is a lot better. Now let me talk about WWF WCW Pay-per-Views. You had the Royal Rumble 96. It was not that bad, but it wasn't great. Shawn Michaels won, repeat winner. I was happy with that. I was a huge HBK fan. He was my favorite wrestler in 96. So, Shawn wins. Taker and Bret have a pretty good world title match. Diesel comes out, flips off, I think, Taker. That was kind of shocking because they didn't do that back, or nobody before that in WWF ever did that before Diesel did it to Taker. And I think Diesel interfered and costed Taker the match, I believe. He costed him the title. So then let's go to In Your House. In February 96, Rage in the Cage. I do remember Piper was a commissioner, Roddy Piper. And Jim Cornette were going back and forth on the mic. That was pretty damn good. And you had Piper just talking about, I think, WrestleMania and stuff. In Your House, February 96, Shawn Michaels, Owen Hart was really good for Shawn's number one contendership, I believe, was on the line. And then the main event, Bret Hart defending the WWF Championship against Diesel in a cage. That was pretty damn good. The match was kind of slow, but I enjoyed it. I just watched it like about a month ago. It was pretty good. And the finish was really good. Undertaker comes out from under the ring and pulls down Diesel. Under the ring to hell. Diesel comes out of the hole. Smoke comes out of the hole. Diesel comes out as his leather pants ripped. He's just backing up in the ring, and Undertaker appears out of the hole. Diesel gets the fuck out of the ring and climbs the cage to get out. Taker climbs up the cage and is doing this and pointing at Diesel because he wants to face him because Diesel screwed Taker at Royal Rumble. So really good finish to the February In Your House with Undertaker appearing. And Bret Hart, of course, when Diesel is pulled in the hole by Taker, Bret Hart, I believe, climbed over the cage and dropped down and won to retain. So it'd be Bret versus Shawn, WrestleMania 12. Pretty good WrestleMania, but you had the return of the Ultimate Warrior. That got a big pop in reaction. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley absolutely got buried. That's kind of funny to think about. How he would just get squashed at WrestleMania 12 and how he'd go on to have an epic, really good career. So you had the Warrior return. As a 12-year-old kid, I was happy about it. I popped. I marked out. And then you had the Hollywood Backlot Brawl, Goldust, Roddy Piper. That was really good. That was ahead of its time. That was really innovative and super entertaining. And they used the white Bronco footage. That was hilarious. That was just, that's hilarious. Not hilarious what OJ really did to his wife. He murdered her and her friend. He did murder them. But anyways, They acted like Piper was in the white Bronco chasing Goldust. That was pretty fucking hilarious. And Goldust drove back to the arena in the gold Cadillac. Piper just crashed up against him. That was pretty funny. And then he rips off Goldust's gear and he's wearing fucking black lingerie. That was creepy. That was a bit... Seeing that as a kid, as a 12-year-old, I was like, what the fuck? This is a bit too much. But it was on pay-per-view. And then the Iron Man match. Bret, Shawn, epic, legendary. Just one of the best Wrestlemania matches. Definitely top 5 or 10. WCW, yet Super Brawl 96. Really good pay-per-view, I think. I think it's underrated. You had 2 cage matches. Ric Flair won the world title from Randy Savage. Miss Elizabeth actually turned on Randy Savage. That was shocking. Took her high heel off. Put it through the cage to Flair. Flair hit Savage. Won the title. And then Miss Elizabeth joined Ric Flair and woman. So then you had Hogan Giant in a cage. That was not that good, but it wasn't awful. So Super Brawl, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors took on, I think, Sting and Luger and Harlem Heat. I think, or Sting and Luger took on Harlem Heat earlier. And then whoever won that, I think, took on the Road Warriors. Anyway, Super Brawl 96, really good pay-per-view. Then we went to Uncensored 96. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The Doomsday Cage Match. 3 levels of a cage. It was kind of a mess. Kind of a train wreck, but I still enjoyed it. Bobby Heenan's commentary is really good during the... You want to laugh? Listen to Bobby Heenan's commentary during the Doomsday Cage. After Uncensored, you had Slamboree 96. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was not great. The WWF Pay-per-View in April in your house. I don't remember much about it. Just that Ultimate Warrior took on Goldust, and it was fucking weird that those two were meeting each other, because it was barely a match, and it was just weird booking. Goldust or Marlena was like smoking a cigar, and then Warrior started asking for a cigar to light up, and it was just fucking weird booking. That's a matchup that is just odd. Goldust against Ultimate Warrior was, to me, it was odd. So now let's talk about ECW Super Show, starting off January 96 with House Party. Took place January 5th, 96, from the ECW Arena. Every show, every Super Show before their pay-per-views took place at the ECW Arena until they got on pay-per-views. Then they left the ECW Arena. Only one pay-per-view was at the ECW Arena, the first one barely legal. All the rest were outside of Philly. So House Party 96 had the Public Enemy's final appearance in ECW take place. They were headed to WCW, where they would stay in WCW until January 99. I think they had contracts until January 99. Public Enemy was really over in ECW, super popular, but they didn't deserve big money contracts, in my opinion, from WCW, but they got them. They probably made a ton of money for not appearing that much. So here we go with House Party 96. Really good show. Yeah, 911. Giant guy would just basically come out to the ring, choke slam a lot of people, and get huge pops. 911 and Rey Mysterio Jr. That was a weird team, but it worked. Rey's really small, and he's teamed up with the Giant 911. So Rey Mysterio Jr. 911 defeated the Eliminators, Perry Saturn, John Cronus. Now, I think House Party or maybe by March 96 or April, Rey Mysterio would be gone from ECW. Again, WCW would steal him or take him, however you want to say it. They didn't steal Rey, but they offered him a lot more money. So everybody from ECW, a lot of them got big money contracts. Rey Mysterio, Eddie, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Raven, the Sandman got a big money deal to leave in 99 or the end of 98. Mikey Whipwreck left. Stevie Richards left for WCW. Public Enemy left. Just almost everybody in ECW left, except for a few. And of course, they didn't like how WCW was fucking train wreck. In the summer of 99, Raven left, Sandman left. They came back to ECW. Mikey left, or his contract was over. Everybody basically returned to ECW. So up next we had Rob Van Dam defeating Axl Rotten. It was okay. For the ECW Television Championship, this was pretty damn good. Two Coat Scorpio with Woman. She was his manager. I forgot that Woman was still a part of ECW a little bit in 96. At the same time she was a part of WCW. That was odd. But Kevin Sullivan, I believe, had a relationship in WCW with working with ECW. Or sharing talent a little bit. So Two Coat Scorpio defeated Mikey Whipwreck to win the ECW TV title. Up next we had Taz with Bill Alfonso. Before Bill Alfonso turned on him, Taz defeated Hack Myers by submission really quick in 3 minutes. Up next we had the Dudleys in a 6-man tag, or I believe 6-man tag. Bubba Ray Dudley, Chubby Dudley, Dances with Dudley, with Big Dick Dudley took on, and there was Sign Guy Dudley. They defeated Jimmy Del Rey with Mr. Hughes. So there. Up next, we had the Bad Crew. I don't know who the hell they were, but they defeated J.T. Smith and Tony Sexton, or whatever the hell his name is. Up next, for the ECW World title at House Party 96, Sandman, the World Champion, with Woman, defeated Conan. Another guy, Conan, from Mexico, was a huge star in AAA. Was formerly Max Moon in WWF for a short time. So Conan came to ECW, brought Lucha Libre, brought Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, and Juventud to ECW. Conan would go to WCW also. He was in WCW by March, and he was at Uncensored. So you had Sandman defeat Conan to retain the world title. I think Conan got busted open. His head was all bleeding, or his back of his head got cut open. Sandman was just cracking him with the cane. So next we had Sabu with Paulie Dangerously still. Sabu defeated Stevie Richards with the Blue Mini. After it, Paul Heyman got on the mic and told Sabu and told the fans that he promised ECW would get on pay-per-view very soon. So the main event, the final match, Public Enemy's final ECW appearance until they came back for like 2 appearances in '99 that were a fucking mess. Where one appearance they returned at the ECW arena, beat up the Dudleys at House Party '99. They're back like they returned. The fans are going nuts. All the fans are doing this. And then they showed up again in Detroit and got just the fucking hell beat out of them by the Dudleys. Devon and Bubba Ray, because I heard Bubba Ray and Devon tell this story about when the Public Enemy did not want to stay down. Bubba Ray, they hit Public Enemy with 3D, the Dudley Death Drop, and Bubba Ray was like, you better fucking stay down, you better stay down and sell our finish. Public Enemy wouldn't stay down. They started getting up, celebrating, so the Dudleys came back to the ring, beat the fuck out of them for real, and then left. And then the Public Enemy got up again and didn't want to sell. And then the Dudleys beat them up again. So I guess the Dudleys and Public Enemy really didn't like each other. I don't know what the Public Enemy was thinking by not staying down and selling attack teams a finish. Why would you do that? Maybe they were told to do that by someone in WCW. I don't know. And then, this isn't about '99, but then Public Enemy went to WWF, and I guess they were disrespectful, or I don't know, they pissed somebody off backstage, and the Acolytes beat the fuck out of them. So, Public Enemy in their final appearance until '99. At House Party '96, a Public Enemy defeated the Gangsters in a tag team street fight. And after it, the fans celebrated, did this and that. Also, during House Party, you had a in-ring interview segment. Joey Styles, Raven, Beulah, Stevie Richards, Blue Mini. Beulah announces, I'm pregnant. Raven absolutely snaps. Or at first he's pissed because he's like, the kid's not mine, so he attacks Stevie Richards. And it's not, Beulah's yelling on the mic, stop it, it's not his. It's not his kid. So then Raven gets on the mic and he's like, Beulah, what are you, stupid? Don't you read the pill bottle? You take the birth control, or you take it one day at a time, or stupid, how could you be pregnant? And then she goes, what do you care? I don't know every word they said, I'm just coming up with what I remember, and I remember it. Beulah says back to Raven, like, what do you care? It's not yours. And then I think Raven attacked Stevie, beat him up, threw him out of the ring. And then Raven's like, well, whose is it then? Whose is it if it isn't mine or Stevie's? And then Beulah goes, it's Tommy's. Tommy Dreamer's. Then Joey Styles gets on the mic and goes, it's Tommy's. That is pretty funny. And then out comes Tommy Dreamer, beats up Blue Mini, Stevie Richards, Raven, takes a sign from the crowd at the ECW arena, hits either Raven or Stevie with the sign, rips the sign open, it's a stop sign. Then Dreamer beats up Raven some more. DDT somebody. I think it was Raven, maybe. And then Tommy hugs Beulah. They embrace because Beulah's pregnant with Tommy's baby. After she did that, they didn't go anywhere with the storyline and ever say if the kid was born or not. Eventually, what do you know? Dreamer married Beulah and they had daughters. I believe twin daughters. Later on, after they are married. So that was House Party 96. The in-ring segment with Beulah, Raven, and Tommy coming out, that was just really good. That's really good. Really good storyline, really good storytelling. I enjoyed it. Paul Heyman likes those type of storylines, announcing or someone's pregnant, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was ahead of its time for wrestling storylines. It was ahead of its time. ECW did a lot of really good storylines ahead of their time, which other companies later would steal. So that was House Party 96. If I grade it, I haven't watched it in a couple years, but it was really good. If I give it a grade, I give it a B+. Now let's talk about ECW's, when did this happen? February 96 Super Show, Big Apple Blizzard Blast. They went to New York City. And they were in the Lost Battalion Hall in Queens, New York. So up first we had Taz defeat, basically a jobber. Taz defeated the Shark Attack Kid. Maybe that's the son of Shark Boy. Who knows? Maybe it was Shark Boy before you Shark Boy. I don't know. Up next, we had the Headhunters. The Headhunters, two giant, really fat guys, but they were good workers. They were okay workers. They could do moonsaults. The Headhunters were mostly in Japan. In IWA and FMW. That's all I know about them. Before 96, Headhunters appeared in ECW in 93. So the Headhunters defeated Axl Rotten and El Puerto Rican Rico. That's a weird name, but Headhunters defeated them. The Eliminators defeated Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck to win the ECW Tag Team titles. Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer teamed up. That was the ECW Dream Team right there. Shane Douglas, Tommy Dreamer defeated Raven and Stevie Richards. I remember that as being a wild brawl. I believe they went out to the street, and there was a blizzard at the time. That's why the show is called Big Apple Blizzard Blast. They went outside in the blizzard, in the snow. I believe is Dreamer fighting against, or beating up Blue Minnie or Stevie or Raven in the snow. It's pretty entertaining. So again, Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer defeated Raven and Stevie Richards. Up next, we had Rey Mysterio Jr. for the WWA Waterweight Championship. Rey Mysterio was the champion. He defeated Juventud Guerrero to retain the title. WWA, I think, was Mexican or Puerto Rican promotion, I believe. The Pitbulls defeated the Headhunters. The Headhunters had another match, I guess, because they wanted more competition. Pitbulls defeated the Headhunters. I believe it was a wild brawl and probably bloody. Chris Jericho defeated Rob Van Dam, another guy WCW signed away. In 96, they signed away and got Jericho from ECW. So, yeah. Jericho Rob Van Dam was probably really good. It went 10 minutes, 58 seconds. Bubba Ray Dudley defeated JT Smith in 45 seconds. Sabu defeated Mr. Hughes. I can't believe Mr. Hughes was still wrestling in 96, but he was. Sabu defeated Mr. Hughes. The main event, the Sandman and Too Cold Scorpio defeated the Gangsters. It was not very long. It was almost 9 minutes. That was ECW's Big Apple Blizzard Blast. Now let's talk about ECW Cyber Slam 96. Took place in February 17th. 96, right after Big Apple Blizzard Blast. So here we go with the review. You had the bad crew, Dog and Rolls. I don't remember them. Dog and Rolls and Judge Dredd. They had a wrestler named Judge Dredd. Okay, must have stole that from the movie. Defeated Dino, some guy named Dino Sterndorf, Donnie Allen, and the Dirt Bike Kid. My goodness. And a 6-man tag that went 2 minutes. Up next we had Taz. Taz defeat Joel Hartgood by submission in 1:50. Paul Heyman at the time was really pushing Taz really hard. You had the Bruise Brothers, Don and Ron Harris. The Bruise Brothers defeated the Headhunters in a 3-minute, 54-second match. I'm sure it's a bloody hardcore war. And I'm sure it's not good because it was only 3 minutes. JT Smith defeated Axl Rotten. JT Smith was around in 93 in ECW. He was pretty over. So up next we had Francine and the Pitbulls take on Stevie Richards. The Pitbulls defeated Stevie Richards and the Eliminators in a handicap match. It was a dog collar matchup. Dog collar match. It might have just been Pitbulls against Stevie because I don't think Raven showed up. Raven was the world champion at the time. Francine might have turned on the Pitbulls, I think, at CyberSlam 96 and went with Shane Douglas. She had a skirt on, pulled her skirt off, had like panties on that said the franchise on the back of them. So that was a pretty good reveal that she was turning heel going with Shane Douglas. And then Shane would start feuding with Pitbull Gary Wolf, and he broke his neck, sadly, in an accident. So up next we had for the TV title, Too Cold Scorpio defeat Sabu. They wrestled to a time limit draw. 30-minute time limit draw. So Sabu still looks strong and did not lose. Shane Douglas defeated Cactus Jack at CyberSlam 96. That was pretty damn good. I remember it. The main event, Raven defending the world title with, at the time he's with Kimona Wanalea. What a name for her. That whoever gave her that name, that's hilarious. I think Raven came up with the name Kimona Wanalea. Or Wanalea her, or something like that. So Raven was with Stevie Richards and Kimona, the best manager name ever, Kimona Wanalea. Raven defeated, and he's with the Blue Mini. He defeated the Sandman with Missy Hyatt. It was only 8 minutes, 21 seconds. So Raven retained the world title. This ends my year in wrestling Reloaded 1996 Part 1. I reviewed three ECW Super Shows, or was it 4? Let me check. 3. I reviewed 3 ECW Super Shows. The next Part 2, Year in Wrestling Reloaded 96. I'll review ECW Big Ass Extreme Bash, ECW Massacre on Queens Boulevard, Hostile City Showdown 96, and Extreme Warfare Volume 1. So, hope you enjoyed this Part 1 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1996. Bye for now.